Many people believe that their soul is something so abstract and so far away, so intangible, that we have to imagine it. And so we come up with different stories about what the soul is, what it looks like, how we connect to it. But in reality, there has never been any disconnection. But when we feel this disconnection, when we feel this need to reconnect and to find it, we become seekers. And we can never quite be satisfied with what we find, not permanently. And so, what if your soul spoke to you through WhatsApp? I will help you to decode it today. I know it sounds like a crazy idea, and you can test it yourself, because your soul speaks to you in so many different forms. And it's just up to you to notice. And I think this way is one of the many ways which I find highly entertaining. This soul has a huge, very good sense of humor. And so how do you decode it? It speaks to you through text messages. Through the messages that you text to other people at times when you are triggered emotionally. And of course, it's not obvious because we are so distracted that we direct this message to somebody else. We believe it is for them. We believe that we will somehow change them, or maybe we will punish them, or in some cases those emotionally triggered messages can be also positive. Those can be words of admiration and worship. And so I'm just gonna invite you to read your messages that you have written recently if you were emotionally triggered, and read them not as if they were written to somebody else. Simply read them to yourself. Imagine that those are the messages from your soul. And I know it might sound crazy, because at first glance it might not make any sense to you. At first glance you might believe 100% this is for somebody else because they are the ones who really need it. And it's so beautiful because you wrote it while you were emotional, and it's so raw. It's just such a raw message to yourself. The more emotionally triggered you were, the more raw the message is, the more directed to you it is. And so, to decode this message, you really have to take it literally. That means you simply have to read it as it is. It doesn't have any hidden meanings. It is very simple and direct message to you. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you texted to somebody, "Do you even care about my feelings?" And so really ponder. Really ask yourself deeply this question. deeply ponder on this question, because it is for you. And if you deeply ponder this question, you may find something very interesting there for you. Or you may have written to somebody, "I thought you knew me better than that." And most likely, or perhaps I'm just assuming, if you ever were emotionally triggered by somebody and you wrote them a message and you were pretty raw in that moment, sometimes the messages are not so nice. But I don't want you to read them as self-criticisms. Just look at what you wrote and see if there is any truth for you in it. Because when you text to somebody, you are the first one who reads it. And so these messages often reflect underlying emotions and insecurities and unspoken expectations. And those are messages that, if you really take them on, will give you more freedom. And you can also look at messages that have been written from emotion and they are positive. Every "I love you" is for you. And yes, sometimes there is details which you need to tweak a little bit when you are looking into that message as if it was written for you. But when you simply sit with it and look deeply, you will be able to see the message for you. And it's so deeply personal. It's so deeply beautiful. And this is the technical proof that your soul has never left you, and that there is no disconnection in any moment in your life. And so you can just relax. You are being guided step by step, and you don't ever need to know anything more than that. Just the very next step is all you need to know. And it's right here. It's right in your inner voice. It's in the advice you give to somebody else.